For months, it was silent. The most distant human-made object in history, Voyager 1, drifted alone in the abyss, sending back nothing but gibberish. After 45 years of groundbreaking exploration, it seemed that the journey had finally come to an end. Its signals had faded, and there was no sign of life from this tiny, distant spacecraft. It was an end of an era until now. Out of nowhere, the signal returned, suddenly coherent, clear, impossible. It defied all expectations, and the data that Voyager 1 brought back with it has left scientists stunned. A Nobel Prize-winning physicist has even issued a chilling warning about the significance of this discovery. This changes everything. We may be looking at something that shouldn't exist. The question is, what has Voyager 1 found at the very edge of interstellar space, and why are some experts whispering that this discovery might be the key to unlocking one of the greatest cosmic mysteries of all time? Stay with us, because this isn't just a routine space mission. What Voyager 1 might have uncovered could be the very first message from the unknown. Launched in 1977, Voyager 1 was initially intended to last only a few years, perhaps a decade if it was lucky. But against all odds, it survived 45 years in the harshest environment imaginable, far beyond anything humanity had ever ventured before. It passed Jupiter and Saturn, two of the giants of our solar system, and was then flung outward by gravity into deep space, beyond the reach of the planets. But what truly made this incredible mission possible wasn't just brilliant engineering. There was also a cosmic coincidence that occurs once every 176 years. The planets were perfectly aligned, allowing engineers to use the gravity of one planet to slingshot Voyager from one world to another, conserving energy and propelling it further and faster than anyone had ever imagined. They called it the Grand Tour, and it worked. Now, Voyager 1 is more than 14 billion miles from Earth, traveling through space where no human signal had ever been received before until now. Voyager 1 sent a signal back to us, and what it transmitted makes absolutely no sense scientifically. After months of corrupted data, something suddenly changed. Voyager 1 began transmitting readable information again. But this time, the data was not just strange, it was impossible. Scientists noticed unusual plasma fluctuations, sudden shifts in magnetic fields, and surge in particle density that had never been seen before. But the most shocking part was that these readings were behaving in ways that defied everything we thought we knew about interstellar space. One physicist described a situation. It's like the spacecraft is no longer just outside the solar system. It's outside something else entirely. What made this even more puzzling was that the orientation of cosmic rays and the direction of magnetic lines were misaligned, as if Voyager 1 had crossed into an entirely new kind of space. And there was no existing model of interstellar physics that could explain what was happening. It was as if the very rules of reality were suddenly changing. When Voyager 1 crossed the heliopause, the outer boundary of the Sun's influence, it entered what scientists believe to be empty interstellar space. However, the data now shows that this region is far from empty. Voyager is detecting turbulence, plasma waves, and charged particle storms that seem to have no consistent source. Worse still, there are gravitational anomalies. The spacecraft seems to drift ever so slightly, in ways that can't be explained. It's not being pulled by the gravity of stars, nor is it colliding with asteroids. So what is causing this subtle but measurable motion? Some scientists now believe that Voyager may first have entered a transitional region, a liminal space, a border between what we know and what lies beyond. It's a place where our fundamental laws of physics may no longer apply. For years, the scientific community approached the Voyager mission with caution. They studied the data, observed its transmissions, and debated its findings. But now, one of the most respected Nobel Prize-winning physicists in the world has made a rare and unsettling statement. Voyager 1 is detecting patterns that cannot be reconciled with our current understanding of the universe. This could be evidence of something completely different, a new domain, an entirely new structure of space itself. The physicists stopped just short of calling it another dimension, but many people are now asking the question, could Voyager 1 be encountering the edge of something far beyond our understanding? A multiverse? A boundary where simulated space meets real space? Or could Voyager 1 be encountering a cosmic construct that we can't even begin to imagine? Among the new data, scientists discovered something even more troubling, a rhythmic fluctuation, a pulse coming from a region Voyager 1 had recently passed through. This signal wasn't just background noise. It was structured, timed, and repeating. At first, it was dismissed as interference or a fault in the spacecraft's instruments. But the pattern was persistent, matching no known stellar phenomenon. It wasn't coming from a pulsar, not a quasar, and certainly not from any known source of radiation. Then came the eerie realization: the pulse seemed to be responding, almost as if it were reacting in certain windows of time. The pulse increased slightly after each of Voyager's data bursts, almost as if something out there was listening and responding to Voyager's transmissions. One of the engineers working on decoding the spacecraft's latest transmissions made an interesting observation. When the variations in the magnetic field were visualized as a three-dimensional model over time, a shape began to emerge. It wasn't random. It wasn't noise. The shape looked like a spiral framework, repeated with near-perfect symmetry. Some scientists are now suggesting that it might be a gravitational lattice, a cosmic grid far beyond our current understanding. Others are going even further, suggesting that this might be the signature of an artificial structure, something far outside our solar system, or even our universe. Either way, it has no precedent in astrophysics, and yet Voyager 1 flew directly through it. As if the data wasn't already strange enough, Voyager 1's onboard systems have begun acting erratically. But the strange behavior isn't what you'd expect from an aging spacecraft. The spacecraft's internal orientation sensors have started reporting conflicting positions simultaneously, as though Voyager 1 exists in more than one coordinate space at once. Even more bizarre, its signal has been showing tiny but measurable variations in transmission speed, suggesting that the spacecraft may be passing through regions where the very fabric of spacetime is distorted. This isn't just the normal decay of instruments over time. Some scientists are now quietly proposing that Voyager 1 has entered a region of variable dimensional space, a concept that was once confined to chalkboards and blackboards in theoretical physics. Now it seems real, and Voyager 1 is right in the middle of it. When Voyager 1 was first launched, it was never meant to leave the solar system. Its primary mission was to observe the gas giants and then simply drift into space. But now, after more than 4 decades, it's doing something far more profound. It's revealing the true shape of reality itself. What began as a journey past the planets has now become a voyage into the unknown architecture of the universe. And here's the irony. The spacecraft that carries the golden record, the message from humanity to the cosmos, may be the first to receive one in return. Voyager 1 was never supposed to travel this far. It was launched with 1970s technology, powered by less computing power than a digital watch, and aimed at planets we thought we understood. But now, 45 years later, it is sending back data that is forcing Nobel Prize-winning scientists to rethink the very nature of the universe. A pulse that behaves like a signal, a shape hidden in magnetic noise, spatial glitches that suggest multiple realities, and a journey that now seems less like an escape from our solar system and more like an encounter with something else. Something ancient. Something beyond the current understanding of physics. Something or someone watching. The spacecraft that was meant to be our ambassador to the stars may have found the edge of reality, or worse, something beyond it. So now we must ask, is Voyager 1 still exploring space, or is it revealing that space, as we thought we knew it, has already ended? What are we truly witnessing? Let us know what you think in the comments. Has Voyager 1 truly crossed into a new dimension of space, or are we just beginning to see the first signs that we were never truly alone in the universe? Subscribe and turn on notifications, because the next transmission from Voyager 1 could be the message we've been waiting for since the dawn of time.